I see you have returned Robocop.
I serve the public interest, protect the innocent, and uphold the law.
I will destroy you.
That entire film was created with AI in less than an hour. No expensive equipment, no film crew, just 2 tools and the right workflow. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly how I made it step by step so you can create your own Hollywood-grade films. Let's dive in. Before we delve into the details of the workflow, a big shout out to Wealthwise YouTube channel for inspiring this video. I have extended the prompt that he provided in his video to make the workflow easier for you guys. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to be using Higgsfield Cinema Studio today, and we're going to be using Nano Banana Pro inside the Higgsfield interface. The very first thing that we're going to do is create the cinema sheets, as you can see here. So this is a 3x3 sheet that has the different scenes of our movie. And I've created a couple of them here, one with RoboCop, as you can see in the city, and then another one here with the villain. These are not the exact ones I used in the video. I will show you exactly the ones that I've created in this video. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at the prompt. So the first thing you need to do is you need to copy the exact prompt. This is up to this point here is the exact prompt from the Wealthwise YouTube channel. So we're going to copy that, and then we're going to go to Nano Banana Pro. We're going to make sure from the menu that Nano Banana Pro is selected. We're also going to make sure that the aspect ratio is 16:9. I highly recommend that you use 4K for sharper images. Now, what we want to do here is we are going to paste that entire prompt here. And the only thing that you need to change is actually the scene details. So I'm just going to copy this from here. So evil robot engaged with RoboCop in the city during the day. That's the only thing that we're going to need to change in this prompt. So we're going to come here. We're going to click Shift and Home, and I'm going to paste that. So that's exactly the exact scene input. And we're going to go ahead and click on Generate. For the second sheet that I used this specific prompt, RoboCop in action in the city. And we're going to go ahead and click Generate. And now we have the sheet here where RoboCop is fighting with the villain robot, as you can see here. Very nice images. They are very sharp, very clear. And the entire sheet is now in 4K. Perfect. Sensitive content. Let's try to run that again. That sometimes happen, and you just need to regenerate it again. Don't worry, Higgsfield will refund your credits if that happens. It's good that this has happened so that you can see the kind of problems that you can run into, and just really what you need to do is reprompt. Just hit the generate button again, and it should generate. And just like that, we now have the second sheet as well of RoboCop in the city, as you can see here in different situations. And I have to say that these images look really, really good. Now we have generated the sheets, and now we are ready to extract the frames that we want from each one of these sheets. So in my example in the video, I had these 2 sheets. I had this one here with RoboCop in the city. And this was a full shot that I used to create the opening of the video where the camera starts from the lower body and moves up. And so let's go ahead and extract this. So the way to do this, folks, is quite simple. First, we are going to download this reference sheet. So this becomes our sheet. And then I have expanded the base prompt from Wealthwise to include 9 prompts that will help you extract the different frames. So in our example here, we want the image number 2. This is a good full shot of RoboCop, which I want. So it's going to be prompt number 2. So you're going to simply come here to prompt number 2. You are going to copy that, head over back here, and now we're going to add the reference image here. So this is the actual sheet, and we are going to paste our prompt. So this is now for sheet 2. It says focus only on the top center panel of the grid, which is number 2. And we're going to go ahead and click on generate. And just like that, as you can see, now we have the full shot of RoboCop extracted. So this is a frame 2. We have it in 16:9 aspect ratio, 4K resolution. This is the exact image from the sheet. So this is, again, here is the sheet that we've used. No, beg your pardon. This is the sheet that we've used, and this is the image that we've extracted. And as you can see, this is exactly the image that we have selected. So you can repeat this now for all the frames that you want to extract from your master sheet. Now, the second one that I've generated was RoboCop with the villain, the actual fight. And this is actually the sheet. Now, you'll notice here that while I do have RoboCop from the previous sheet in a full shot, head to toe, I don't have any of these images showing the villain in a full shot. And I wanted to create something like this image here that shows the villain in a full shot so that I can create the second part of the video. Now, to do this, I've actually used 2 reference images in order to create this one with a very simple prompt. So let me show you how I've actually done this. So after extracting the frames that I wanted, I included 2 reference shots. One is of RoboCop with the villain robot here. And then in order to ensure that I do not lose consistency, I also included the close-up of the villain in the shot here. Then I gave it this prompt: full eye level shot of the evil robot walking, looking straight at the camera. Remove RoboCop. Photorealistic cinematic realism. Okay? And now we're going to go ahead and click on that. And just like that, we now have a full shot head to toe of the villain robot that looks exactly like the robot in the sheet. Again, this is a very quick trick so that if you have a specific shot in mind that is not available in the sheet, there is no need for you to regenerate the entire sheet. You can always use reference images because Nano Banana really excels in using references. Now we have those 2 images. Now let's take a look at how I created the very first part of the opening video, where the camera moves from a close-up on the lower body of RoboCop and moves up, and then the camera switches to the villain robot with the same movement. So for this, we're going to go to Cinema Studio. And Cinema Studio, guys, is really next-gen Cinema Studio. I think this is by far the very best studio that I have seen for AI. And it uses exactly what cinematographers actually use to film movies. So these are trained on millions of real-world images using these particular cameras, lenses, and focal length. And they have recently also introduced the aperture. Now, for our example here, I've used the Amri Alexa 35 digital camera with the spherical Arri Signature Prime lens with a focal length of 35 and fully opened aperture, which is the f1.4. Okay, now what I wanted is I wanted to create the first part where the camera moves from the lower body to the upper body. And the best way to do this and ensure that you do not lose consistency and you don't lose the character details is by creating a start frame and an end frame. So what I wanted to do is I wanted an image like this. that shows the lower body. And then I wanted another image that shows RoboCop's upper body. And then I will use this as a start and end frame. So in order to do this, the only thing you need to do is you need first to put in the reference image of RoboCop, as you can see here. So this is the actual image that we have extracted from the sheet, and it shows RoboCop in full length. So what we're going to say here is just the word lower body. And we're going to go ahead and click on generate. We're going to make sure that the aspect ratio is 21:9. You can either go for 2K or 4K. In the actual video that I've shown you guys, I've selected 4K. I'm going to keep this now at 2K just to show you guys how this is done. So we're going to click here once and wait for the image to generate. And as you can see, we now have a 21:9 aspect ratio image of the lower body of RoboCop, as you can see here. And the details are simply exquisite. This is really next gen, guys. Very, very good. I suspect that they're actually using Nano Banana Pro with maybe some other models to generate these images. So now I have repeated this with the upper body. So this one, I just basically prompted upper body exactly in the same way that we did lower body. And I got this image. And then I repeated the steps for the full shot of the villain. So basically we came here and then I selected the full shot of the villain. We'll go to image generation here. And there you'll be fine. This is, again, something new. They've implemented the history, which is very good. You don't have to download the images and back. So now I have this full image of the robot. And then if you select lower body, it's going to generate this image here. And then it's going to use upper body to generate this image here. As you can see, again, upper body close up. So that's how I generated those images. Now it's time to create the videos. Now, creating the videos is actually very simple. The first thing we wanted to do is I wanted to generate this sequence here of RoboCop, the lower body, as you can see, this one here. So this is the opening of the video. And as you can see, this is RoboCop, exactly the same character from the sheet that we've had. So what now we want to do is, in order to achieve this, so if I look here at the prompt, it just says camera moves up slowly. Okay, to do this, we're going to click on the start frame, and the start frame is going to be obviously the lower body image of RoboCop, which is this one here. And then the end frame is going to be the upper body image of RoboCop here. So now I have those two images here, and we're simply going to prompt camera moves up slowly. Just make sure that you click in that you've selected the right image. So this is the lower body image, and this is the 21:9 upper body image. And the next thing you need to do is, once, by the way, you select a start and end frame, you lose audio capability. So when you're using end frame, you're not going to get any audio. Just be aware of that. Okay, so next we are going to click on generate, and we'll take a look at the results. And just like that, we now have the image of the first part of the video. You can see here RoboCop and the movement of the camera moving slowly from the lower body to the upper body. Obviously, there is no audio here, and I always select 10 seconds so that I can then cut out the parts I don't want in Adobe Premiere. That's what I use to edit the video. So you get the idea. Now, I have repeated the same for the villain. So if you look here, for example, so this is, again, the camera moves up slowly. I used up the same images, and this is how I created the second part of the video where the camera moves up and shows the villain. Now, I've created all the reference images that I want, and so this was actually the second part of the video where the villain starts saying, I see that you have returned RoboCop. So this is actually the video. I used the same reference image, and the only prompt here was the evil robot says in a slow and deep tone, I see you have returned RoboCop. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so now I've generated, let me show you again the prompt for this one here. This is part of the scene as well. And this one, the evil robot strikes RoboCop with a punch and RoboCop strikes back. I've edited parts of this during the editing phase. And then I've used this one as the last. This was a close-up that I've created also, where RoboCop strikes the robot and the robot kind of falls back. And the prompt for this was RoboCop delivers an impactful punch. The evil robot falls back. High drama action scene. You can see that there was a little bit of character morphing there at the very end, which I cut out in the video to account for how this kind of morphed a little bit. So right now we have all the pieces. Now you can download all these videos, and now you're ready to do the edits. But in the very first part, since there was no audio, I wanted to play back some music. So for this, I went to ChatGPT and I said, give me a Suno style for a dramatic epic music like from the movie RoboCop, slow for trailer. Okay. And it gave me a really very long, very long style. So I said, it's too long. I want a single prompt. So it gave me this prompt here, epic cinematic trailer music inspired by RoboCop, slow 67 BPM, etc., etc. So I copied this entire style and then I headed over to Suno. You can use anything you want. You can use ElevenLabs. I think there is an option to create music for free, or Google AI Studio. So I use Suno. I use it for other things, so it kind of makes sense for me. So we'll just go to create here, and we're gonna go. We don't need. We're gonna go on simple, and then we're gonna click here on instrumental, and then we're just gonna go ahead and paste the exact style that ChatGPT gave us, and we're going to click on create. Now, once you click on create, it's going to create a couple of music tracks for you, and you just go ahead and it says cold circuit to ascension. So you can click on either one, listen to them, see if they are suitable. If they are not suitable, you can always regenerate or request a different style. In my case, I had to do a couple of generations, and then here you go. This is the music here. You can decide whether this works or not. Now, the last step is to piece all of this together, and you can use any video editing program. I personally use Adobe Premiere, so let's go ahead and open Adobe Premiere to show you exactly what I've done. All right, so this is the project. I'm going to, let me just show you here. Let me just click here on mute for a second, and because I do want to explain to you what I've done here. So the first thing I've done is you can see that the actual image here looks a lot better. The cinematic LUT used here is different from the images that were created by Cinema Studio. And to do this, I just type here into effects, I type LUT, and there is the Lumetri presets. So now you have different categories here. You have cinematic, film stocks, monochrome. So I clicked on cinematic and I selected the Cinescape 100 and I applied it to all of the video clips that I have. And it gave me this really nice looking scene that looks seriously like Hollywood grade. Looks really, really good. So now we can play here, and you can see that because of the aspect ratio of the image, it has this the black stripes there. Now notice here what I've done. So I've made here a slight change. I cut the first part of the robot walking so that it, there is a little bit of a variation. So this one shows RoboCop from the beginning walking, but the other one shows the camera moving up from the upper body all the way coming to the robot. Then I've added this is the sequence. So this is where he speaks, and this is RoboCop saying his part. And then this is the finale here where RoboCop strikes the robot. Now, one thing that I've added is the music here. So if I click unmute, this is the music I got from Suno. As you can see, this grades for a very dramatic scene right there. Okay, so that is pretty much what you need to do to create those really, high quality Hollywood grade level videos. The Workflow requires a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually very easy and it doesn't take very long. It actually took me less than an hour from the time I watched. It includes the time that I used to watch the video from Wealthwise, which again, I want to really thank the guy for putting out his prompt and sharing his passion with the community. This brings us to the conclusion of this video. Please share, like, subscribe to the channel. It really does help, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.